What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to go over this really interesting interview between Matt Booty, who is the head of Xbox Game Studios, and GamesRadar, where he went over a bunch of interesting stuff talking about the current state of Xbox One as well as Xbox Project Scarlett and where they are with their first party game releases. So this interview to me really gives you a lot of insight of just how far Xbox has come since the launch of the Xbox One and just how well they are doing things. And I know I've made a couple of videos recently just being so excited about the Xbox and Microsoft and everything, and it's for good reason. They have done such great stuff. If you look at where they are from when they launched the Xbox One to where they are today with things like Xbox Game Pass, Project xCloud, the acquisition of all those first-party studios, it's really amazing how they've really turned the ship around. So starting off here, here's the interview. The questions obviously here are in bold from GamesRadar, and then the answers from Matt Booty under it. And there's a bunch of questions, but I'll just go over like what I thought really gives us insight of where Xbox is going and what we're going to see from first parties in the next couple of years. So basically they asked Matt Booty, where does he see the first party games? How many are we going to get? And when are we going to get them? And he said this as a response, which I think is very, very encouraging, especially if you're someone who has an Xbox. We feel pretty good heading into 2020. We've got a goal of being able to deliver a game roughly every 3 to 4 months. So that alone, that's crazy. Every 3 to 4 months, you should be expecting some sort of first party game from Xbox Game Studios. Now, this can be either a big AAA game or maybe a smaller game, maybe a more family friendly game or a wide open RPG, because we know that they have Obsidian now. So that's crazy. Every 3 to 4 months expecting a first party game from Xbox. And I think the reason they're able to do this is because they've been acquiring studios and they've been working on this stuff for a very long time now. And they have probably a lot of games from some of these studios that they've acquired in the backlog. They're just getting finished up because of the extra resources Microsoft has been able to provide them, and even kind of talks about this further on in the interview. So in terms of that concept of them acquiring studios and them having stuff in the backlog, this could really be applied specifically to the Outer Worlds. You can see here he talked about when they acquired Obsidian, the Outer Worlds had been in development already for many years. Microsoft just came in and they didn't change anything. They didn't come in and put their own stuff into the game. They just gave them more resources and more time to make the Outer Worlds what it eventually was when it was released, which was a very good RPG. So there's that example, and then there's the example of acquiring a studio who has a game such as In Exile, who has Wastelands 3, where they acquired them and the game wasn't complete, wasn't near to being complete, because they needed extra resources and they needed that extra employees and time and everything to get it done. Microsoft was able to acquire the studio and do that for them as well. So we're not only going to be getting brand new games from Microsoft Studios or Xbox Studios, we're going to be getting games that were already in development that got extra resources from Microsoft. We're going to be getting games that were somewhat in development and just needed that extra push forward in order to be completed. And then we're going to be getting, like I said, those brand new Xbox Game Studios IPs. Now, when it comes to their investments into first-party studios and into their third-party studios, this was a very interesting question and a very interesting response that I felt that really gives us a lot of insight of where Xbox is going, not only with their first-party studios, but also with acquiring third-party rights to games. And as we know, they got the third-party rights for Yakuza to come onto Xbox Game Pass, which I think is a massive thing, because Yakuza was never on an Xbox console before. And that's a Japanese game. That's a game that is loved in Japan, probably not loved as much over in North America, although there are tons of fans of it. It was never on Xbox, so you were never able to experience it if you had an Xbox. And he talks about that here, where he says, there are third parties, and we have got a tremendous volume of content coming through third-party partnerships. And that includes things like we announced at XO19 with the series like Yakuza, Kingdom Hearts, and Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. That gives me so much excitement of what is coming next. What other IPs are they going to be getting that aren't generally games that were on the Xbox before that will be making its way over specifically to Xbox Game Pass for everyone to be able to? I think that is so massive, because if you're somebody who has another console like a PlayStation or a Nintendo, and one of the reasons why you don't have an Xbox is because you can't get games like this, you're going to start thinking to yourself, well, I'm still going to be able to experience these games, and I'm going to be able to experience a huge other catalog of games if all I do is sign up for Xbox Game Pass rather than purchasing these games in full on the current console that I already have. And I think that's going to be huge for Xbox. They're going to see a lot of people who, instead of purchasing those games on the PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch or whatever other device that is on for the full price, if they end up on Xbox Game Pass, you're going to see that subscription number rise and rise some more, especially for people who have a PC and don't really want to go out and buy a console just to play a certain game. And then he talks about also that they have ID at Xbox, which is the independent stuff. And there's been a lot of great stuff that's come out of that, specifically Cuphead, which is a game that, I mean, it's very popular. Tons of people love it. And it's just a great game, great platforming, great aesthetics. And we're going to see a lot more stuff like that coming out as well, especially with the investment that they're doing with ID at Xbox. Now, he also went on to talk about the transition of Xbox One over to the Xbox Project Scarlett and how their goal is to have nobody left behind. Basically saying that their goal for creating all of these Xbox studios and purchasing all of these studios is that they want to make sure that nobody is left behind when they make these first party games, that you're going to be able to experience them wherever you have an Xbox. So it's either on the Xbox One, either on PC, or it's on Project Scarlett. You're going to still be able to experience them even if you go out and buy an Xbox One this holiday season with the new console coming out next year. Now, when it comes to the third parties, he obviously couldn't really comment on that. It's going to be up to the third parties on whether they want to make their games for the weaker console or they want to just make their games for the current gen console. I mean, that's pretty obvious. You can't really force third parties to do that because then you'll probably lose a lot of that business if you're saying you have to make the game for both versions. However, the fact that you're going to be able to have everything on both, whether it is Xbox One or Xbox Scarlett, is a great thing. And all games on Xbox Game Pass, I'm assuming, will be available on both. Like even stuff that comes out that are third parties, they may say that you can come out on Xbox Game Pass if you're available on any device to anybody, or at least have the option of playing a lower resolution version of the game on your Xbox One if it's out on Xbox Project Scarlett. Now, to me, this is all just great consumer friendly stuff because usually when a new console is released, it comes out with all new games, all new peripherals, and you really have to purchase everything from scratch. You have to start from day one with nothing, and then you have to build your library. But when the Xbox Scarlett is released, we've already confirmed that you're going to be able to use your Xbox One controls on it, so you won't need to buy any new controls, and you're going to get a massive library of games instantly on Xbox Project Scarlett through Xbox Game Pass, as well as through your older Xbox One games that are going to be able to play on it. And it's going to be backwards compatible with the 360 and the Xbox One, and the first original Xbox. Those names always get kind of confusing. Now, what this really means is that Project Scarlett is going to have the largest launch lineup of any Xbox system, and that's what it's asked here. And he says, I love the way you phrase it that way, and I think that's how we think about it. We want, when you invest in Xbox, to know that you're bringing that legacy of content library with you. So you're going to have everything with you if you buy Project Scarlett next year. You don't even need to worry about, there's not going to be much launch games. You're going to have tons of stuff to play. And if you bought an Xbox One this holiday season or an Xbox One X, you're still going to have content going forward for a very long time. Now, there is a new first-party studio that Microsoft created, which is called The Initiative. And we haven't heard anything from that studio yet. So there was a good question asked in this article that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about. And that is, Microsoft established a new first-party studio called The Initiative back in 2018. And we're yet to learn what it is working on. Is The Initiative on the back burner while... Yes, he didn't finish the question because he got interjected. Matt Booty says it's not on the back burner. And then they responded like it feels it is to us. And then he responded, it probably does to you, but it's not on the back burner if you saw the amount of email I get. Now, it's hard to take anything out of this. They're obviously working on new stuff, especially if they're going to be releasing new IPs every 3 to 4 months. We're just going to have to wait and see what that is. Now, the burning question a lot of Halo fans have is that, are we going to be able to play Halo Infinite this time next year? So what is the release date of the game? And he couldn't go into that because Microsoft PR came in and said they're not talking about release dates today, which kind of sucks. I really want to know the release date of Halo Infinite. I want to know if I'm going to have my hands on it in November next year, maybe even October. But I'm thinking mid to late November, maybe even early December, that Project Scarlett is going to be launched with Halo Infinite. And like I said, you're not going to have to buy Project Scarlett to play that game. You're going to be able to play that on PC, and you're going to be able to play that on your Xbox One, which is an awesome thing. But yeah, this is just a very insightful interview I found with Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, and it really just shows us where Xbox is going. They understand that they need more first-party titles, and that they're going to have more first-party titles, releasing one every 3 to 4 months. Hopefully, they can keep that promise. But with everything else going on, like I said, with Game Pass and Project xCloud, it's really looking optimistic if you're somebody who has an Xbox and you've been waiting for content to come out for a long time. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to this channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.